Boy, did we hear a lot on Sportswire Radio earlier before with these youth of the backyard nation. And boy, did they have a lot to say, this youth of the backyard nation. So, what do you think about this youth of the backyard nation? What do you think? Is there something to it? Is there something to what we saw earlier tonight on Sportswire Radio between the small town backyard wrestling upstarts against the Midwest backyard stalwarts in WCE? Is there something to it? Or maybe it's all just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about, but it seems like maybe we're going to see more of this. Is this the trend? Old versus young, and are we seeing clicks in the backyard circuit? What about this whole thing between trampoline and no trampoline, and everybody's saying something about it? I mean, what do people think about that? What I figured I want to come on here for the next 30 to 45 minutes, and I want to take your questions. What do you think? What do you make of this whole debate between the trampoline, no trampoline, these young upstarts versus these veterans and everything else? I mean, what is going on? I mean, before it was okay, we're not shooting anymore, we're getting straight to wrestling, but now it seems like there's a war. The war seems to be more than it ever has been before. I mean, what do people think about it? Are guys in the backyard wrestling circuit now worried about their spot? Are they worried that guys like Judas? Are they worried about guys like Nolan Money McDermott? Are they worried about Tyler Fury, Dalton the Executioner? Are they worried that they're going to take their spots? I mean, is IMF losing their ground? Is WCE about to be a footnote? Is DKW just really riding the coattails off all these other feds? I mean, who's left to survive? I mean, I'm sure XCW, TBW will survive because they've got the name, they've been around. ROEW's got the shiny objects like Jack Delta and Justin Parsley, but is Justin Parsley a target now? I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows what is going on? Have we just, I don't know what to say. This seems now all of a sudden these young upstarts, they just are taking note. What about, say, you, the likes of Felix Jones? I mean, you've had your wars with Tyler Fury. Are you taking note? Are you saying to yourself, well, now maybe that's going to give me some hope against, let's say, Soldier GP? But then again, I'm aligned with Justin Parsley. I mean, it's just, to me, I'm starting to see battle lines being drawn. Battle lines being drawn in the backyard wrestling circuit. Battle lines that, you know, it was before last year we saw, okay, companies invading, wrestlers invading. But now it seems like the young guys, the young bucks, the young whippersnappers are now all of a sudden calling their shots at the expense of the guys that maybe they've held on too long. Maybe, is there an expiration date in backyard wrestling? Is there a father time that eventually you say, you know what? I've been there too long. It's time to step aside. Is there that moment? I'm curious for the audience. Is there that moment that in the backyard wrestling circuit that it's time to just step aside and let these young kids, or am I missing something? Or it's backyard wrestling and nobody really can dictate. Nobody can really set the course on who should really be in, who should be out. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Because to me, it seems like battle lines are now drawn like we've never seen before here. And I certainly am getting a front row seat to it. And I hope to give it to you. I mean, let's see. Let's talk about it, obviously. Nicholas Crenson, who, I mean, he's the target right now. Nicholas Crenson is the target of this right now. And WCE, I mean, a nail in the coffin. It looks to me that these guys in Illinois want to put a nail into the coffin of WCE. And if WCE gets their nail in the coffin, who's next? Is IMF next? Is XCW next even? Who else could be next? DKW? I mean, if Judas has his way, DKW is dead, and he even thinks that DKW doesn't exist. I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, that's just, to me, if WCE, if WCE really has that nail in the coffin put in by the guys in small town backyard wrestling, does that have a domino effect in the Midwest? I mean, could we see any company be under siege? Or right now, backyard wrestlers who have been holding serve on this platform and in the backyard wrestling circuit, are they now under siege? Are they maybe feeling too comfortable in their spots? I think it's a legitimate question that we'll have to find out. Justin Parsley, my PWF champion, by the way, who, with my vote, I'm happy he's representing us in the PWF, by the way. I know I don't have the majority vote, but I am supportive of that. I didn't see this in the itinerary. Yeah, I think a lot I want to get off my chest after what I've seen the last 24 hours. I saw these guys that nobody knew about. Nobody knew them. And now all of a sudden, they've now put themselves on the map in the backyard wrestling circuit. Have we gone unhinged? I don't know how to answer that. You tell me. That moment for me will be when I'm good and dead. Well, when you may be dead and gone, but I mean, small town backyard wrestling, they want you to be dead and gone in the backyard wrestling circuit. Nicholas Crenson, they've declared war. Tyler Fury, Nolan Money McDermott, and Dalton the Executioner, they've declared war, and they want to put WCE in the dustbin. I mean, they really want. I mean, will they, if this backyard brawl, if they get what they want, be singing another one bites the dust, dun, 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 WC bites the dust? I mean, will they be doing that? I don't know. That's a good question here. Yeah, we're just letting it fly, Dirty. I think because tonight and yesterday, it seemed as if now there's a line being drawn between young and old. And I didn't think we'd see that in the backyard wrestling circuit, but we're seeing that right now. Guys like Judas, guys like Tyler Fury, guys like Nolan Money McDermott, Dalton the Executioner, they seem like they're drawing battle lines, and it actually drew battle lines when it came to the likes of Aaron Blaze and Jacob Frost. They seemed like they were supportive of this now battle right now. We have a battle in the backyard between young and old. There's a battle right now between young and old, and I think that's what I want to talk about for a few minutes. And it seems like this is what's happening right now. My buddy, Mr. Michael Christian, obviously Festus's ex-stepson. How you doing, my friend? Yes, we missed you too, my brother. Just wanted to come on for a few minutes and riff about what I've seen the last 24 hours. All wrestling matters. Yes, we definitely appreciate that. Then there's this fight now between trampoline versus no trampoline. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Yes, how you doing, Dirty? My man Seth Maverick is in the house. He's coming back here in about a week and a half, I want to say. And I know more AWL guys are in the house. Their most recent show, please check it out and go support our guys in the AWL. They have definitely doing a lot of great things and killing it. And yeah, we miss ADT. We miss everybody here. And D'Angelo the Flame, of course, the real raw energy. D'Angelo, you missed it because there's battle lines being drawn between young guys and old guys, it seems, now in the backyard. We had tonight these guys, Tyler Fury, and also we had Nolan McDermott and Dalton the Executioner and Judas say that there's dinosaurs roaming the backyard. They were talking about dinosaurs, and they want to make them extinct. I mean, is Darkron a dinosaur? Is Sinister a dinosaur? Is Nicholas Crenson a dinosaur? Is Sean Jovi a dinosaur? Is Jonathan Pierce a dinosaur? Does that extend to other feds? Does that extend to other companies? Does that mean that there are dinosaurs roaming the backyard and that eventually dinosaurs become extinct? I mean, that's a question that I legitimately... I mean, I didn't think we'd be worried about people's age in the backyard, but it seems like now we're seeing New Blood versus the Millionaires Club almost. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, so what's going on is that there's a group of individuals that have declared WCE. They want WCE to put a nail in its coffin. They feel that WCE has been far too comfortable in their spot. They've been declaring war on other backyard wrestling companies. There's another individual, Judas, who is declared that Darkron should pass the torch to him. He declares that Darkron really didn't respect him when it came to an event at All Legendary Wrestling. And it just seems like that there's now battle lines being drawn. There's battle lines being drawn in the backyard, and it is confusing to people. We're seeing this fight now between trampoliners and non-trampoliners. I mean, I don't know what's going on out there. I think it's really, you want to go out and do your thing, do it. But yeah, 23, D'Angelo the Flame would fall on the same side as Nolan, Money McDermott, and Dalton the Executioner, and Judas. And are guys holding on to their spots too long? Is there such a thing? Is there a thing of passing the torch in the backyard? I mean, is that, or it's backyard wrestling? I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it. Yeah, James Taylor, my guest Sunday night here. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Is it crying? I didn't think there was any crying in wrestling. They always say there's no crying in baseball, but I don't think there should be crying in wrestling. They did. There was a match yesterday we played on the air dirty. It was Tyler Fury, who you know obviously from the IMF, who's wrestled Felix Jones, the tag titles. He's wrestled a couple times for, and he wrestled a match with this guy Nolan Money McDermott, and they had a match in their big pay-per-view that they had. They call it in small town backyard wrestling, and they basically did the match, and it was like 10 minutes of it was in a big pool in Tyler Fury, the owner's house. Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know what to think of it, but Judas is I don't know, he's the evil angel. He seems to be the evil angel. Everyone talks tough until it's showtime. So are you saying, what do you think then? I mean, is it these guys, are they stepping, I mean, are they even holding on to, what is it to make of it? I don't know. Yeah. 23 is young. Yeah, I mean, I think it is fun. I think that the spirit is fun. I think everybody seems to be having a good time. But there is now all of a sudden this debate in the backyard. There is a debate now between young and old, trampoline, no trampoline. I mean, Anthony Arias is here tomorrow at 4 o'clock. He's going to be here. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about it. James Taylor's back Sunday night. Saturday night, we have D Savage. He's going to probably have a lot to say. You're getting all of it here. Whoever said it probably considers you in that category. He laughed. He put LOL. I don't know. I'll come back to some more comments. If they wrestle on a trampoline or in a ring, they want to kill us. They are welcome to try, but it will not be easy. I mean, is WCE, though, on its dying days? I mean, is WCE going the way of WCW? Is this the final breaths for WCE? Because these guys seem like they have it out for WCE, and if they conquer WCE, who else is next? Nolan Money McDermott is 6'3". He's 6'3". I mean, Jonathan Pierce might be a lot of things, but can a guy in his 30s hang with an 18-year-old? That's a question. Can an 18-year-old with their youth, can they overpower and dominate guys twice their age? I mean, can the guys in their 30s and 40s, can they hang with guys like Judas and Tyler Fury? That's a legitimate question. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just wondering. It would be a passing the torch moment because every sport has it. It's natural. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder, is it legitimate or are we just looking at young guys that just want to make a name off those and they really have no business being in the ring? I don't know. I don't know what about it. I mean, they aren't on our level. And that's what you guys think. I mean, even say what you want about Sinister. Say what you want about Nicholas Crenson or Mr. Brightside or Jonathan Pierce even or Darkfire. But, I mean, should it be that these guys should just be paying their dues? Do we need dues in the backyard? Should there be a dues system? Should there be... I don't know what that is in that locker room. I mean, veterans here, Nicholas Crenson, James Taylor, Dirty's even a veteran now. I mean, ADT's a veteran. I mean, the veteran yarders, do you think that there should be that dues paying? Should there be dues in the back? I mean, D'Angelo the Flame has traveled around the world, but I mean, so he really doesn't need to pay his dues. I mean, some people might want to pay his itinerary for traveling, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, is there paying the dues? Nicholas Crenson says he hates the term paying dues, but I mean, it's a legitimate. Are these guys, are they really crying over nothing? What is it that, I don't know. I just think it's a legitimate, it's something legitimate. Do we see that dues need to be paid? I mean, and D'Angelo laughed at my line because D'Angelo, I think I spoke something I probably should have said or not said. That guys like us are our age or instinct. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to riff for a little while, and just the last couple of days have been interesting in the backyard wrestling circuit because there's been this big, I don't know if it's fabricated. I don't know where it stems from, but it's just, I don't know. I just think if you're going out there, don't worry about what people think. I mean, AWL, look at what they've done. They're killing it out there. I mean, they've got their last big show had like 3,000 plus views. I mean, look at BTW with RJS, Swift, and Jacob Frost, and, Comatose. They got like 1,700 views their last big show. They have another show Saturday. I just think, to me, if you have a good product, people will find it. I think if the product is good, it doesn't matter if you're on trampoline or non-trampoline. ROEW is an example. They're a good product, and they, found their way to get that success. I just think, to me, is these young guys, are they just crying over, I don't know. Should we pass the torch or make the next up earn it? I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question because I don't know. Do they feel, is there something that was there something missing? I mean, for those that are out there who were in a locker room with Tyler Fury, did you see this coming with Tyler Fury? If you were out there, did you see something that made you say, yeah, Tyler Fury, I didn't do the right thing about him? Work is work, and typical work doesn't go unnoticed. If a vet can't put out good performances and newer talent picks up slack, yeah, I think that's a good point because I think that really, I think if you can go, you can go. I don't think, to me, I mean, D'Angelo has done it. I mean, Aaron Blaze has done it. I mean, they're younger guys, right? And they've gone out and they've proven it. I mean, I don't think it's age is a number. I mean, Gabe Sayers has done it now. Gabe has got to be in the same range age-wise as D'Angelo and Aaron Blaze. I mean, I don't know the ages of Nolan McDermott or Dalton the Executioner. Tyler Fury, I know his age. But, I mean, Jacob Frost is 19 going on 20. I mean, he seems to have had no problem making a comeback. Comatose, I don't know. RJS has done very well. I mean, if you're an older yarder, you would know RJS. I don't know what the difference is really. They want to make an impact. Now, I'm curious as how they'll handle the pressure. Well, that's a good question because here's the challenge now, right? Let's talk about this for a second in real layman's terms. Judas is wrestling Darkron. He's got the tag match with Matthew Forsaken. He's teaming up with him against Darkron and Trey Mysticality. Obviously, Trey Mysticality, for those that still don't know, has been in the hospitals in ER. We're praying for Trey. We love Trey Mysticality. But how do they now handle the pressure? Judas is now going to be in the Backyard Havoc. He's going to be in prime time, the brightest lights, and the biggest stage. And the first ever, as I can think of, full yard event. And now we're seeing this backyard brawl. I mean, I would imagine WCE is going to respond. I would imagine that Sinister hinted it today that management said tonight. Liz mentioned that they're going to be in talks. I mean, WCE is not going to just, after what WCE has gone through on this platform, they're not going to let STBW go and just, bully them around. I mean, these guys, Jonathan Pierce, you think that Jonathan Pierce is going to let this happen? He's just come back to the yard. You think that Nicholas Crenson, one half of the IMF Hardcore Tag Team Champions, is going to let that happen? Sean Jovi, everything he's done in this community. And does Sean Jovi now have to watch his back? He's here Sunday. Does that mean now he's got to watch his back every stream he's here? I have a question. Do veterans now have to worry about now being on streams on Sportswire because young guys are going to be here? Anthony Harris is going to be here tomorrow. He's going to be here tomorrow, and he's going to talk about the backyard wrestling circuit, I'm sure. I mean, are veterans worried right now? Are veterans worried about their spot right now? That's the question. A very big question right now. I mean, does that extend to everywhere? Because you know that this is a domino effect. You know that this is going to impact a lot of people going forward. You just know it, and everybody knows it. Well, let me come back to ADT first. Well, in that argument, you'd hope the people in power would choose the people that they have 100% confidence in, and the people they choose to lead the charge. I couldn't agree with you more, but now we're going to find out. Are veterans worried? I mean, Sean Jovi, he did the best he could. He fought hard against Nolan, Dalton, and he fought against them. He fought against those guys, but will it mean that it's going to just be the foresight? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. A lot of it's just really unknown. There's a lot of unknowns here at stake. And, we'll have to find out. The big question is, we're going to have to find out between what these guys, have said here. Tyler Fury just had a lot on his mind. I didn't see it coming. But speaking of people who's here, the man that was just here, the man of the last 24 hours, Nolan Money McDermott, the STBW World Heavyweight Champions in the house. I already made my impact. Sky is the limit from here. I'm the STBW champion, future star, rising star, proving that we have what it takes and representing the best company in the Midwest. The best backyard company in the Great Lakes in the Midwest. Nolan Money McDermott. He showed he was money in the ring, and now he's money on the mic. Justin Parsley, the PWF champion, responds, paying dues is essential, so it is passing the torch. It's all tradition. Who are we to break that? But we were the kids trying to make a name for ourselves once, too, although not in a cush digital era. So do you think, then, that these young kids like Nolan, like Dalton, like Tyler, that they have it easy along with Judas? Do you think that they have it easy? It's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Believe me, I lived in both eras. It was impossible to get over across the nation without being on the Matt Cross, Josh Prohibition tapes. Yeah, I think Matt Cross came up on one of the shows recently. Maybe it was Kyle Shelby. It might have been on Kyle Shelby's show. That's a fair point. I'd be more worried if I didn't have an encyclopedic knowledge of submissions. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know what that is going to do, though, with a guy who's 6'3", or Dalton the Executioner, or Tyler Fury. These guys they have a bullseye. They weren't even calling WCE WC. They were calling it WSE. I can't even repeat what they called WCE. I mean, it's wild to me. It's just fascinating. Crenson, that scares the F out of me. You're in worse shape at there. Oh, the battle lines are being drawn. Veterans is going after veterans. I mean, veterans are going after veterans. Sorry, I'm aiming my weapon in the wrong direction. Let's get back on track. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say worried. Only time they get worried is if they have gotten stagnant. If people are catching on that, they've been lazy, simply put. If you're worried... But is the backyard wrestling circuit, is it getting stagnant right now? Is it there was all this collaboration, all this creativity, right? But is that enough? Is that just, okay, we're going to do a crossover show. IMF comes on Sportswire streams, and then we get an event. We get something. They put it out, and they put it there, and you don't hear about the show anymore. What is that? Is that, or am I missing something? Or is it really just, this is all a figment of people's imaginations? Or WCE comes on Sportswire, they get called out, WCE puts the show on their page, and then it's the same thing. Or what? I mean, it's a legitimate question. XCW puts a show out, guys call them out, they do a big super show, and that's it. What is the next step? I mean, Ace Reed comes on here and calls out American backyarders. Okay, he's now on the clock. He's got 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is, to go out and really put his money where his mouth is and figure out where he's going to wrestle. Okay, so what does he do? D'Angelo the Flame travels everywhere. Okay, he's wrestling Mickey Vargas now in Buffalo, New York. Okay, they're going to promote a match, I'm sure, on here. They're going to have this match, Shocky's Party, and then, what happens after that? So Should there be a backyard wrestling league? Should there be another tournament? What is the next step? Or we've gotten stagnant? Is this the next? Is there a cry for action? Is this what this? I don't know. I don't know what the answer. I don't know why. This is all out of left field to me. This fight between young and old, this fight between dinosaurs roaming the earth and putting feds in the nails in the coffin. And it's not even shooting. Nobody's coming on here and talking about people's personalities anymore. We've kind of changed the dialogue on Sportswire. Sportswire is going back to wrestling coverage, really. It's now, this is why this is so different, because really, if you look at the platform the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we've gotten back to wrestling coverage. You've seen new people here on Sportswire, and yet it's the new guys that seem like they want to turn the other cheek, and it's with nobody shooting on. It's bizarre. Just bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. Collabs and BYW are double-edged sword. Yeah, I've heard this debate actually from other companies that have not participated in some of the things on here, and that's kind of their point. And I understand that. I understand a lot more of it. If everyone's in it for the same end goal, good works beautifully, everyone benefits. People are only, I think everybody has to do what's best for them, right? So is this backyard brawl, is it the best for STBW and WCE, or is WCE really under siege? I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I mean, to me, you're just seeing battle lines. You're seeing this guy Shock, who was on here, battling it out with BYW hub-aligned wrestlers. You've seen now a debate between guys, Maxwell Reeves, who's here Monday afternoon, and guys who are in a ring are talking about his efforts. And now you're seeing guys talk about the WCE brand, and you see other guys have a debate that we haven't really seen now. I mean, what's next? What's next? What is next? It's not even now about, okay, you didn't participate at Summer Bash. Okay, all right, that was an issue for people. Okay, you went somewhere, you didn't like how you wrestled. Okay, all right, I mean, that happens, right? But now it's a matter of, like, we're talking about age. Is there a thing in backyard wrestling where age is discriminatory? I mean, it seems like these guys, Judas and Nolan Money McDermott and Dalton the Executioner and Tyler Fury, that are they discriminating toward older guys? I mean, is there an age limit in BYW? If you're 40 years old, should you be competing in the backyard? If you're 45, should you be competing? If you're 50, should you be competing? Or it doesn't matter. If you're 70 like Flair, if you're 60 something, Billy Gunn 61, it doesn't matter. Sting was 64 in his last match. It doesn't matter. Keep going out there, right? I mean, Jeff Jarrett's got to be 56, 57. Chris Jericho's holding a belt, for crying out loud. It doesn't matter. So does the same logic apply in BYW? Does it? Underground's a different league. Underground's a different conversation. This, to me, is more about BYW more than anything else. Let me hear what Nolan Money McDermott has to say. It give all respect there is to give. However, it's time we make a name for ourselves. Show that we are just as capable as the rest of the competition. We start with WC. The challenge has been set. Well, for the young guys here, I mean, do you feel that you didn't get the respect from those guys in WCE? I mean, we've seen WCE work with IMF exclusively. We've seen the relationship they've had with DKW. I mean, should STBW have got more of an exclusive relationship with WCE? I mean, should it have been STBW first that worked with WCE? At the end of the day, BYW is a hobby. Yeah, it's a hobby. I mean, you get the 1,000 subs on YouTube. Sure, there's ESW, there's MEBW once upon a time. TBW definitely has the subs. You know, Jimmy Controversy has 10,000 subs. It's probably part-time job money you're making, unless you're Grem and GTS. Realistically, this is just a part-time job. If you're lucky to get on a level of like TBW and the 8,000 subs or MEBW once upon a time, VTW and DBW have that many subs, 4,000, but you have to put the content out here. I mean, this platform, I'm the one man that is fortunate by the grace of God right now that I can put the time out. So maybe, who knows? But right now, yeah, and that's what Hillbilly Tilly says all the time. It's all for the love of the sport. It's all for the love. And yeah, you've done it all, and you've been the guy, an example. Rad Dad's another one who's come up the ranks and has done well. And I think that I don't know what the answers are. I just why I wanted to riff for a little while on it. Age doesn't matter. It's what your body is telling you. I'm going till my body gives out, and believe me, it's tried a dozen times. But could your body be giving out if this backyard brawl goes into fruition? If this goes into fruition, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year, could this be the end of Nicholas Crenson? Could we be looking at the career of Nicholas Crenson being almost an end? It's a question that I think people are going to want to figure out. Want to say hello to Soldier GP, who I'm sure was watching up close because obviously Tyler Fury is in the IMF and Nicholas Crenson is one half of the IMF Hardcore Tag Team Champions. I mean, that's a lot of people are wondering if WCE goes. If WCE goes down, who's next? Does XCW go down? Yeah, they're safe now, but could they be next? What about IMF, DKW, ROEW? I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think these companies are going to go down, but who's to say if these kids conquer WC that they won't feel emboldened? I don't know what's going on through their minds. I don't know. I have no idea. Yes, and going into the Indies, and you were on the show with Skrilla. Skrilla, I know, did the Spartan show last weekend. Did you get a chance to work with Skrilla by any chance? Give him my regard. He's a good friend of the platform. Yeah, BYW is what you make it. There are some people. Yeah, the view. Not everybody hits the algorithm. I agree with you on that. Not everybody hits the algorithm. It really depends on where you go with more or less. I'm not a fortune teller. Yeah, nobody is right now. Nobody goes down. Well, can I say no comment on that? I'm going to say that might have been good on Sportswire like 2 months ago, but I think that we've changed the product a little bit. I feel like we're in the WWE PG era now a little bit, but we'll see. IMF ain't going nowhere. Remember, Fury worked with IMF too, but he said he wants to put WC's nail in the coffin. I don't know what these guys have in their minds. Do they? Nobody knows. I don't know what's in their mind. I don't know. I'm not trying to listen. I don't want anybody's company to go down. I only want everybody to go up. I'm not here to bring people down. I'm here to bring people together. I think that's why Sportswire is a platform all of you have built. This was a platform, and I said in my speech to put WC, giving it a day, that it was a platform, Sportswire, that was once upon a time before WC came. And it really was, I was covering college athletics, doing British independent wrestling. But because of WC and others that are here, IMF, certainly Justin and XCW, AWL, TBW, ROEW, LBYW, Nexus, you want to throw in DBW. I know people have their opinions on that. Resurrection. You want to throw in, again, people like James Taylor, Anthony Steele, certainly Omen Soldier, a lot of personalized. NEW recently, TF Crew, guys like Jimmy Controversy, the Backyard Underground Circuit. That all came into fruition because of WC. So I want everybody to succeed. I mean, DKW, ALW have been here. DKW has been here with us almost since the last 18 or so months. ALW's come on board. STBW's come on here. YBW's with us now through Aaron Blaze. UWA, our friends, love Jake Howe, what they're doing. Certainly BTW. So I want everybody to grow. So I mean, I don't know. I'll fight till I can move no more. Well, these guys want to make you fight till no more until I think whenever they get this backyard brawl, which is simply not the case. However, if the show graphics, yeah, I think, listen, you can tell, listen, there's no question that there are obviously shows that draw and shows that draw less than what shows draw. And that's, each company figures out what works and what doesn't work. I think that's like anybody else. I agree with the sentiment largely. Um, well, there you go. But I think there's a Midwest clique that is too tough to break through. And isn't that though, Justin, what maybe guys like Judas, guys like Nolan, Dalton, and Tyler are kind of rallying about? They didn't break into these cliques. And, I don't know. Did they not? Did they feel that they couldn't break into the club? Jovi got into that clique. Through proxy, Crenson and Darkfire, they got into that clique in IMF. Did Tyler feel that he didn't get the right spot in IMF? Did he feel disrespected in that locker room with Crenson, Darkfire, and Jovi? I mean, for the guys that worked with Tyler Fury, did you see something that led that you thought that there was something there that they felt disrespected? I mean, Judas told us how he felt about Darkron. He felt that DKW was riding the coattails of the IMF. I think that's unfair. I think that's completely unfair because DKW hosted Summer Bash the last 2 years and they're hosting Backyard Havoc. I mean, to me, DKW, they're in the ROEW roster now. So I think it's unfair, but that's what these young guys are saying. They should watch what they say about WC, to be honest. Jovi's a foundation brother. I'm only a call away. And I think that's interesting, too, because is this going to rally people? Tonight I saw battle lines being drawn a little bit. I saw younger guys like Aaron Blaze and Jacob Frost align themselves with younger guys like Tyler Fury and Nolan Money McDermott and Dalton the Executioner. But then I saw Omen Black and I now see Soldier GP, and they align themselves with even WCE. And we know the history between WC and IMF. It's not always rose-colored glasses full of. It's just not. And that's why I'm curious, are we going to see battle lines being enjoyed? Hell, does James Taylor align himself in terms of how he sees this with Omen Black and Soldier GP and Sinister of all people? And then again, do guys like Aaron Blaze and Jacob Frost and hell, D'Angelo the Flame, do they go the way of, again, Nolan Money McDermott, Tyler Fury, and go with the likes of Judas and Dalton the Execution? I don't know. I just don't know those answers. Time will only tell. Yeah. Clever emojis. Justin's here Monday, by the way. That's the thing, though. Most of these guys agree for the booking and then bitch about they get handled out of their home show. You can easily say, no, I appreciate the offer. Yeah, it's interesting you said that because in British independent wrestling, I know a lot of guys over the years, and some guys would complain that the booker that would promote them on their show, without saying names, would say to me that the booker would almost want to force them to job, quote unquote, meaning take a loss. I don't know anything about wrestling, as you can say, but he was forced to lose to show some type of loyalty or trust to the promoter, but the promoter originally brought them in for something. So, there is that. I agree with you. There's definitely in that. And speaking of people, Ace Reed. Ace, I obviously got a chance to watch your match with Yoshimatsu Matsuda to kick off the season in Wrestling Zero Season 4. But, Ace, I don't know if you've heard what's been going on right now. There's this fight right now in BYW between young versus old right now. Tonight and yesterday, we saw guys such as Nolan Money McDermott, Tyler Fury, and Dalton the Executioner call out veterans in BYW like Nicholas Crenson, Sean Jovi, Jonathan the Executioner Pierce, Sinister, Mr. Brightside, Darkfire. Judas is called out. Darkron's got a match with him already in a tag match. And it seems like there's battle lines being drawn, right? Do you feel, Ace Reed, that young guys are being held down and that veterans should pass the torch? Do you feel right now that there's a youth of the Backyard Nation, a youth of the Backyard Wrestling Nation coming on? Anthony Arias is here tomorrow. There's a fight now with trampoline versus non-trampoline. Like, what do you think of all? You're a young guy. You're on the young age side. You would be a part of this new youth of the Backyard Wrestling Nation. You would be a part of this new generation that's forming now. Jacob Frost, Aaron Blaze, You want to throw D'Angelo the Flame in? All right, he's more backyard underground. But guys like Nolan Money McDermott, Tyler Fury, Judas the Evil Angel, Dalton the Executioner. I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious. I wanted to riff on it for a few minutes tonight. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just wanted to get off my chest what events that transpired here and transpired. And yeah, out of area booking is an opportunity to display your talent to a new audience. Yes, for sure. It's been a concept that's been done, sure, in the backyard and elsewhere. So if it bombs, that's on you. If you handle yourself as a professional and do well, tends to play out better. Yeah, I think it's what I learned in working in the world of politics was that every moment's going to be challenging. You have to figure out how to deal with every punch that's thrown. You have to figure out how to roll with the punches. So there's going to be good days and bad days. You're going to have to navigate the process and trust the process. Trust the process to me. And, I agree with you on that. Win or lose, you can get yourself over with necessarily going over. I agree with that as well. I mean, Chris Jericho was a case in point years ago in the Kevin Owens situation, right? He didn't win a match. He hadn't won a match in years, but got himself over, right? He was more relevant than he ever was. Justin Parsley, when it comes to this war, truce and team up to show these whippersnappers some respect. Boy, you know what? That's interesting because do you think then maybe with this backyard brawl, could we see guys from Indiana and Iowa teaming up with guys in Wisconsin to team up against these young whippersnappers in Illinois who now all of a sudden think that they want to take the dinosaurs and who roam the earth in the backyard circuit and extinct them? I mean, is that what's happening? We see this youth of the backyard wrestling nation that's trying to, put a foothold out there. So I don't know. Let me go to ADT first, and I'll go work my way back up. Having a constant chip on your shoulder and expecting everyone to know who you are is toxic and lowers your chances of getting booked in your benefit. Yeah, I mean, every promoter has their right to want to do what they want. I think people know, at least on this platform, I try by and large to respect the wishes of people that come on here. So I can understand to put the shoes, if I were to wear them, of the promoter, that would be their right. You have to respect it. Some promoters look at it depending on, what your demographic is, what your base is. If you're TBW versus, again, a company that has 100 subs, the 100 subs might be at the mercy of the talent, but TBW and ESW, for example, they're going to have basically you're getting to go on their TV. DBW and VTW might be another example. You're going on their product. You're going on their platform. They may have a different view of it. IMF and NEW are examples, though, of companies that have the following. And you want to work, show up and come on down. I think they're, to me, the two biggest examples of and AWL has done that with La Flame. I mean, AWL and Spartan. I mean, you got to look at companies that want to collaborate, and you can figure out depending on what's best for you. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into play. I'm not a promoter. I don't know enough of the details. It'd be unfair for me to put myself in their shoes into why they make a decision. But other than say they've earned that right to say whatever they want and who they'd like to use. I'm a patriot like you, and I'm willing to defend our thrones. Is this Game of Thrones now? Should we be calling the backyard brawl like Backyard of Thrones? These kids just woke up an entire legion. So you mean to tell me that guys like them woke up veterans who may never be on the same side? I don't know. It's an interesting topic. They don't want it, and they be facing. It's interesting because you could say conversely, what have these young guys accomplished? Let me get to Ace Reed, because Ace Reed had a good point. I have respect for veterans, but you can't go by the term all wrestling matters if you shit on people who wrestle on a trampoline. Otherwise, you're disobeying the term all wrestling matters. Yeah, and I agree with that, and I think that trampoline wrestling, that's a different discussion than the whole STBW, WC thing. I believe in trampoline wrestling because I believe there's a lot of high-quality talent on there. Copper Dragon has supported trampoline wrestling. He says it's an important tool into training for wrestling. And guys like the Hardy Boys learned on the trampoline. And I also think that trampoline wrestling, there's a lot of great talents on it. Matsuda, Ace Reed, you've got Frost, you've got Swift, you've got Comatose, RJ. And I'm not saying it because they come on the platform. I watch a lot of this. Arius has done a lot with Nexus, LBYW. So there's a lot of, to me, people on a trampoline that they're trying. BCW, Maxwell Reeves is here 4 o'clock on Monday, and he's on the trampoline. He's doing well. I mean, so to me, I think people know that they get at least a fair shake on this platform. Yeah, Justin Parsley and emojis. Main reason I don't do traveling because it's expensive. Yeah, I think. Listen, Delta's talked about it. I'm sure D'Angelo's going through it. I would imagine Omen and Soldier, who've traveled Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, they can relate. And yeah, I think that there are people, I think Jack Delta's seeing that firsthand also. And what did you walk in on, Ox? I wanted to riff on this whole thing about young versus old. There seems to be a fight now in the backyard with what we saw the last 2 days between small town backyard wrestling, Tyler Fury, Nolan Money McDermott, Dalton the Executioner, calling out veterans like Sean Jovi, Nicholas Crenson, Dark Fire, Sinister, aka Craven Rage, and basically wanting to put a nail in the coffin. And does this mean every backyard wrestling fed should worry because young guys like them now want to take over because they feel that they've been either held down or haven't gotten the respect that they deserve? That's what I'm wondering tonight. And CJ Black is my favorite trampoline. What's his record on the trampoline? ADT was cousins with him. Was he really better on the trampoline and then RWW? Is that a true statement? I find that hard to believe. I'm sure he was a great wrestler on the trampoline, but I don't know. That's a good question. Trampoline, ground wrestling, ring base. Yeah, wrestling is wrestling. I think I agree with that. My buddy Ron Franklin. Ron, how you doing, my brother? Hope you're doing well. We're talking a little bit about what's going on in backyard wrestling for a few minutes till my voice gets ready to tap out, which it is going to soon. Watch me no self. So does that mean, Ox, for once you and I guess Nicholas Crenson are on the same page, on the same team? I don't know. I think it's all fascinating to me that this whole debate is taken over between backyard wrestling in young versus old, trampoline, no trampoline. I mean, I would have to think though that everybody has started on a trampoline at some point. So I don't really think the big deal. I think the trampoline stuff really started because there was a poll done by BYW Hub, which, by the way, I supported the poll. I shared it on my Instagram page for those that don't know. And I had basically talked about that on this platform. I believe everybody should get a shot to be in a ring or a trampoline. If they're happy, wrestling's wrestling. Certain guys looked at it like that they should be ranked. I mean, to me, I don't do rankings. There's too many guys that come on here. I don't want to upset people because I'm going to leave somebody out. And I really think Sportswire has become a platform that people want to believe in. And I think the last few weeks, I got to be honest, I don't know if it's a coming to Jesus moment or I really believe we're getting new people to be here. And I don't think it should be a firing squad. I don't think it should be that as much. I think people are going to speak their minds. They're always welcome to. I'll never not deny people of that. But we've gotten back to really, giving people opportunities. And I think that really people are tuning in still. So to me, I just think I'm happy giving people an opportunity. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm very excited about Bash in Berlin. No, absolutely. Yes, Brazil is I'm talking about all that, Ron, tomorrow right after SmackDown. So I'm talking about that right after SmackDown. I'm doing WWE. I'll do a little AEW for about an hour. So I am going back to that. Most people don't have $5,000. Yes, I agree with you on that. It's a lot of money and it's expensive to put it in. I understand. Listen, guys don't have that kind of money. I mean, listen, WCE, IMF, NEW, TBW, DBW, XCW, I mean, DKW, those companies are fortunate. And I give them so much credit for whether you like their product or not. Resurrection, VTW, anybody that has a ring and they can go out and, UWA. I give all of them the respect and that they put the money up and they believed in it. AWL has gone to Spartan. And I think, to me, like I said, I respect all the companies that went out there, but again, ROEW's done. ROEW's made the transition. So again, to me, ROEW, TBW, Resurrection, UWA, NEW, TF Crew. I mean, you look at all these companies that have rings: XCW, DBW, VTW, DKW, everybody else that has an opportunity to, show something. I think it's you credit to you guys for putting the money and the efforts in. WCE goes without saying. Let me get to some more comments. Amateur wrestling happens on a mat on the ground. That's the foundation of what we do. Most of us have been on the ground or the trampoline, but stars are made when they carry it over to the ring. Yeah. And the PWF has been a part of it. The new PWF, by the way, which is also where Justin Parsons is my champion. What sort of Twilight Zone did they end up in? I don't know. That's the question. I thought like we were done with shooting on Sportswire. We were getting away from like talking about those things. But now, the last couple of days, it's like, here we go again. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk about this for a little while. The trampoline days were fun, but you can only suspend disbelief so much. Yeah, I was speaking with one wrestler off the air, and we were having this debate. And he said, you have to make the adjustment eventually. That was his line. And I get it. I understand. I have my preference, of course, but there's no reason to dog people. Yeah, 100%. And I think that that's what I think we've gotten back to on Sportswire. And yeah, well, Ox, you're friends with a lot of people in the hardcore circuit who are coming back onto Sportswire. Yeah, I mean, you're friends with those guys. I think of obviously my buddies in Total Effing Chaos. I think about guys again like Jesse Daniels, Mickey Knuckles. Yeah, they would do those things. I think about Kato. I think about obviously Jimmy Controversy, Mac 10. All those guys that are in that world. Mikey Anarchy. Yeah, they just Brax, Matsuda. I mean, just a whole bunch of Masada. All those people. Madman Pondo. Hell, one of the best matches in BYW took place in a gym with just gym mats. Yeah, 100%, 100%. In response to ADT, I chose to travel to Michigan for UPW and job there once in a while paying dues. I chose to invest my time to WC and express full creativity, not only in character, but putting out a wrestling product I'm proud of. Traveling sucked the life out of me financially for a $20 payoff for my hard work in UPW. When they found out I'm doing WCE, I got blacklisted. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why I'm very proud to be covering WCE. And that's why I'm very proud to be supporting everybody in the backyard wrestling circuit, because that's why today I honored WCE. That's why I honor every backyard wrestling circuit, every other backyard wrestler, and every company out there. So that's why I support the backyard proudly. And that's why nobody will ever be blacklisted on Sportswire. And I want everybody to succeed. And you know what? Maybe it wasn't worth it anyway. Long as you're happy, and I know James Marshall's going to fight like hell to make sure WCE always succeeds, always thrives, despite what the youth of the backyard wrestling nation wants to attempt to do here. And we've seen that declaration, their declaration of independence, certainly being heard loud and clear. Peter B., beautiful logic. Like, I'm so glad that I never have to wrestle on the ground, man, our trampoline again. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like if you're a musician, right? A musician has to evolve. A musician doesn't want to play the same music, right? You look at every successful artist that's had longevity. The reason that they have longevity is because they've evolved over time. And I think that that's a point that a lot of people will take note of. I'm glad you stayed, James. You've given me some of my favorite matches, and I think there's going to be more great matches ahead. We know Black and Blue is going to be another great match ahead. You can check that out on the WCE YouTube page when it's out. And also, if you're here, tell everybody that Sportswire is the only platform where all wrestling matters, and the only platform where you'll probably get backyard, underground wrestling, independent, deathmatch, hardcore, pro wrestling, indie, you name it. I'll cover it. hit the sub button for me. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I'm about 120 away. So, my birthday is October 7th. So if you want to give me a birthday gift, I don't need your money. I've got plenty of that. I could buy some of these wrestling feds, but get me to 1,000 subs, and well, you can roast me. You can roast me, and you can be here. Everybody can be here. I'll let everybody have a few minutes throughout the evening, and I'd like to get to 1,000 subs by my birthday. I'm about 120 away, so we'll see. I got a shot. I'm right now mathematically. I'm running close to the number, so we'll see. Look at Muse for your musician. Yeah, I think there's a lot of musicians you can look at. Bon Jovi is Sean Jovi's obviously go-to, and that might be the biggest example of them all. He just put out an album that sold, I think, 50,000 records in 1 week, which nobody does these days. Tim Mecca convinced me to stay with WC after one. That's why we're honoring Tim Mecca, and eventually we will honor Tim Mecca into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. We honor WC. So I think that's what I wanted to say today. I really just wanted to talk about this riff between young and old, and I'm just this whole thing like trampoline versus no trampoline, and going off what James said, every company is different. Once you identify that it isn't going to be in your benefit, you got to cut ties as professionally as possible. But glad it worked out. Yeah, I think people shouldn't be forced to work with people just because somebody else does. You have to figure out. When I speak to people off the air, I try to give objective advice. I try to help everybody in the same way, because what you get with me on the air is what you get off the air. So that way, there's no level of uncertainty. There's no level of doubt. And I think that that's why people know that Sportswire has stood the test of time, even through the British wrestling I covered and other sports. They know that it's a level of honesty here. James Marshall, I do want to say we will be standing across from each other. It's going to be a banger. And could you guys be aligned with each other in this backyard brawl coming up? I mean, a backyard brawl seems to be brewing. I mean, it seems like no more. I guess if there's one positive I take away from all this, is that summer was the only time, right? Backyard feds would have collaborations or collaborative shows, but don't seem like that's the case now, right? The Backyard Havoc is taking place November 9th to 10th in Bremen, Ohio. We've seen all the DKW, ROEW, IMF, XCW, ALW guys, right? All a part of that, right? We've seen all of that. Now we see this backyard brawl we could be about to be on the fruition of seeing develop. And that's going to be a thing I would have to imagine is going to take place this year. And that's going to be, could be with guys from all over the place. STBW, WC, IMF. I think everybody's open to be in the backyard brawl. But it could be, again, battle lines like we've never seen. I think the backyard brawl, to me, has the potential to be the most different one because it's young versus old. Young versus old. If that's the thing, I think age is a number. I mean, I think age is a number, but these young guys seem to be making it out that way. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know, whatever. At the end of the day, talent has to say on what goes down and what doesn't. If the work has been put in, it's undeniable. Yeah. LaFlame is a guy that's certainly, I think, broken the door. Omen and Soldier broke the doors themselves. They transformed who they were to being a successful company and traveling all over the place. I think Justin Parsley has done that. Jack Delta has certainly done that. Aaron Blaze has done that. I think Jake Dvorak with Justin Abel Sane has done that. Gabe Sayers has done that. There's a lot of guys that have done that. I think that Anthony Steele has done that in the past. Ace Reed would like to do that. But if you're forced to do the job every once in a while, yeah, look, I look at it like it's a movie, right? There's wins and losses in movies, right? There's good guys and bad guys. You got to evolve the story. I think, to me, wins and losses is overrated. Well, I think I've got the point. I got enough off my chest. Unless you want to see anything else on Sportswire before I go, would you like to see anything else? If you're here, I got a bunch of you in the chat. I'll let you open up with this. I mean, I know 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to let you take over the platform. You're going to roast me. You're going to have things you'd like to say. I have no doubt. But Is there anything you suggest you'd like to see on Sportswire more often? Is there anything you like to see on the platform? It's your platform, everybody here. I mean, nobody cares about me. I'm not in the ring, right? But is there anything that you would like to see on Sportswire more often? That I want to see you give yourself the opener. How would I do that though? But how would I be able to give myself the opener if I'm the one introducing you guys? How would I be able to do that? But that's a clever one. Maybe 1,000 subs one. Maybe when we get to 1,000. That's a clever one. That's a good one. Okay, so what else would you like to see? I'm more interested. I can't watch the match. Yeah, it's an MV. I can't watch the match now. I mean, I can take a look at it. I mean, if you want to see other things on Sportswire, whether it's wrestling, backyard, underground, independent, pro, whether it's sports, I mean, it's your platform. You guys all built it. I mean, you guys, it's yours. It's not mine. I mean, I don't have almost 1,000 subscribers because I have mutton chops and long hair and I have long intros. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that. I mean, but what else would you like? I mean, I see I have a bunch of people here. What would you like, Sportswire? Would you like to see anything? You have any suggestions? Want to play one of my old music videos from the background? Yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely play that on a future show. I would love to do more open-ended things like this. I would like to do those things. I would love to do that. I would definitely like to play one of your old music videos. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I mean, I'm on the air for the first hour with wrestling. Send me the video. I'll play it tomorrow night if you want. I'd like to see you wrestle a match when you get to 2K. So you want me to have a heart attack in the ring, right? No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a wrestler though. I see. I'm a professional doing this. I mean, I don't know. 2000. I think 2000. I think 2000. I said I would donate to charity. I think that's what I said. 2000. Yeah, send me the link, Ox, and I'll play it tomorrow. I'll play it during. I tell you what. I'll play it twice tomorrow. I have Anthony Arias tomorrow at 4:00. I'll play it then, and I'll play it during the show when I do SmackDown with TBK and Alan Michaels and Randy Dillon. So send me that link. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not getting in the ring for 2,000 subs. I would like to give to, can I ref? I think it's Ace Reed's clever. No, Tom versus Ace. No, I'm not. I don't want to wrestle Ace Reed. Have you seen Ace Reed in the ring? I tell you what I would like to do. I tell you what I would do with 2,000 subs. I tell you what. You get me to 2,000 subs. I'll do this with 2,000 subs. For a week, I'll let everybody host on Sportswire. I'll let everybody take over the I'll let wrestlers come on. I'll let Ace. I'm not wrestling Ace Diamond. I'm in. I have to say I'm in good shape. By the way, I mean I have to say that I'm in. Really, I'm in great shape. I don't want to like put myself over really, but I know I'm in great shape. I mean, I can do pretty much almost anything that I've always been able to do, but I'm not going to wrestle. But what I will do is with 2,000 subs, I'll let wrestlers host on Sportswire. I'll give you a week control of Sportswire. How would you like a week control of Sportswire? Meaning that you can host. You don't even have to have me on the platform. You can even, I don't know, make fun of me for a week. Well, I don't really think you what do you want to make fun of me, right? But maybe you do. I don't know. You can interview other wrestlers here. I think that would be kind of clever. So what do you think about that? Also, I'm refusing to call someone a pig or a dog. Pigs are empathetic to creatures. Dogs are too pure in the best environments. Okay, thank you for that. Does that relate to wrestling? But I do agree with you that I'm very pro animal. I'm very pro definitely animal rights. I mean, I've rescued 2 animals in the past. So yes, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. I do support that whole idea. Hello, Mr. Matsuda. Congratulations on beating Ace Reed on season 4, episode 1. I've been shit talking too long. Watch me go back to MMA in the next few months. Well, I hope you come back to Sportswire first. I like the one. Okay, first of all, no, but I'm not doing. I want to bring you as host of Sportswire. How about that? Do you want to take over Sportswire? But I'm not agreeing. I have the vote. I haven't got to 2,000 subs yet, by the way. I mean, I haven't got to 1,000 yet. How about this? Let me get to 1,000 first. 2,000, it might take me a while. So I'd buy a family pack of tickets. Well, how about I let you all take over the platform at 2,000 subs? But I haven't even got to 1,000 yet, so 2,000 could be a while. So let's focus on to 2,000, and let me get to 1,500 first, and let me get to 1,000. I'll do a rap song for 2,000, but let me say, Ace, yeah, you can interview. So you can come out of retirement. If you want to come out of retirement, all right, yeah, you can interview. You can interview. You come back and I get to 2,000. You can interview. Okay, what else? Yes, hello, Mr. Matsuda. Yes, I definitely see you, and it was worth the shot. No, listen. You want to host on sports? Listen. I tell you what though, 1,000 I'm gonna get to. My birthday is October 7th. I may or may not get to 1,000 by then, but I'll probably get it right after that. It's based on where the algorithms are on the platform. Everybody, I'll host a night, and I'll keep the stream open for, I don't know, 3-4 hours. And I'll just let you guys, I don't know, say whatever you want. I'll give everybody realistic time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. A lot of guys are going to want to come on. It'll be a celebratory day, and you can grill me, roast me, whatever you want. And upset that I never got the Ace Reed interview before we hung the interview mic up. What happened with that? I didn't know. I thought Ace Reed was going to interview. That's a good point. I don't remember. When was that, by the way? All jokes aside, have you ever thought about going somewhere to wrestle a match? No, I haven't thought about wrestling because I have a friend of mine who was trained by Amazing Red. His name is Chris Urban. He came on to Sportswire when I was doing British only. He was like my 4th or 5th indie wrestler I had come on. I had Steve Off, Cole Bohannon, Franco Varga. I had Chad Parham. He's like my 5th or 6th one that came on to Sportswire. So like, I just, from knowing him, I would like not really want to really wrestle in that. Because I know what he went through to really be a wrestler. So for me, I don't want to disrespect the craft like that. Also, well, you want to wrestle ADT next year? That's an interesting one. We could do that, right? Ace Reed, you had all that travel money. AWL is one of the hot companies right now on the circuit. That's a good one. That's a good one. ADT is going to be back here in a few weeks. I could ask him that question. It's a good one. I'd love to see that. Let me get here. If you did viewers' choice episodes of Sportswire with a guest host would be nice, but you need to moderate and test them. Don't set the platform. Well, I think the platform, I do think that there would be something on seeing wrestlers come on and host on here. I think that there are certain personalities. Justin's got podcast experience. Omen's done Inside the Ropes. James Taylor's done the Nemesis sessions. ADT's done his own lives. Ace Reed has done his own stuff. There are certain people. Aaron Blaze has done his own podcasting. There are certain people that have experience in doing this. Jovi has done his own vlogs. There are certain guys that could handle something. Joshua Allen has done commentary. Chris Jones has done his own stuff. So there are guys that could do it. So, that would be things to put out here. Yeah, I could do that one day. That's definitely something. I think 2,000 subs. I think I would obviously be interested in that. Although I'm really afraid to fly. But yeah, I've never closed the door on that. Absolutely. Omen would do great. Justin Steele. The last one we're not doing. The first 3 we can do. The last one we're not doing. Sportswire is a family station, and it's a family platform where people actually view this platform. We don't want to lose viewers. We want to keep the people happy. So yes, we can certainly say the first 3, not the last one. Thank you, Ox, though. I love you still, Ox, but definitely the 4th one. We want to actually have legitimate talk on here. Up, not on, and yes, for the record, I've hosted and responsive for Q&A. Yeah, you did some stuff in XCW with some of the show. Yes, correct. You could definitely do some of it. Yes, I'd listen to a Black and Silver hour. Yeah, we're not doing that on Sportswire. You can host on here, Justin. Yes, Justin can talk. Chris Jones is a very good talker. I think Jack Delta would do very well on it. Joshua Allen would do well. I think Jake Dvorak's a really good talker. I think Gabe Sayers is a great talker. There are certain guys that could do it, but the last one, Silver, is not happening. Love you, Tom. Just busting balls. You would actually like to bust mine to be bold. That's like a Black and Blue song. Black and Blue, busting balls. That's a Van Halen song, by the way. We're not going to go there. Shit, I'm not going to lie. I've given the thought to do a podcast that's just nonstop pro wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I would say this. If anybody does want to put a podcast out there, I actually do have an internet radio station that streams podcasts. So if you ever want to have your podcast played, and I do have a lot of listeners on my radio station. We get like hundreds upon hundreds of listeners a week that listen to these shows. You never see it, but I pay for that. So if you like to just have the opportunity to be heard on an internet radio station, it looks exactly like this, actually. So if you want to see yourself and you have a podcast and you want to be heard on the radio, we have a button right there to connect you. All it does is go like this. You actually didn't see it, but you get that opportunity. So if you want to have a podcast, I can actually help you. I can take care of all the maintenance. I can take care of the playing for that. So if you want to have a podcast played, let me know. I can definitely take care of you on that. That's non-wrestling related. I play sports. I have talk on there, music. So I'll take care of you on that. All you have to do is click that listen live button and I'll put you in the right direction, free of charge. And I do that to give people an opportunity. How goes the Hoosier Monarchy? If you want to see, no, we're we're not barking at the moon, to quote Ozzy. Some people might want to say that. Him hosting would be like Ozzy doing like "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," or like when he did that at Wrigley Field for the Midwest fans. But Ozzy's a living legend. That guy's not a living legend. Okay, I think unless anybody else has anything else to say, I think we got the point. It's a lot of fun. So yeah. You have any stuff you want to see on Sportswire as we get to 1,000 subs, other subs, drop me a line. You all know where to find me. Ox, give me your backyard video. I'll play it during Arias' show tomorrow. I'll play it during tomorrow's show. Justin, you're here Monday, ADT. If you want to come on maybe next weekend, if you have a time next weekend, I could probably throw you on. I'm here. I have a spot or two open. I think next weekend, maybe next Sunday, could probably do something in the afternoon. Maybe you want to pop on. I think that's it really. Kind of late to this live, but it's nice. Yeah, I really want to do more of these. I don't get a chance to do them as much because I'm really trying to pace myself because I've done 158 shows in 108 days. But that's because, well, you guys all support Sportswire. You come here, you believe in the platform, and it's a platform you created. So really, that's why that's the case. But yeah, I do really I want to do more lives in the future like this, as obviously I have the subscribers and people know about this. I would like to hear. I'm very open-ended. Personally, I can't control what happens in wrestling, but I would like to know what's on your mind. I'd like to know, are there things you want to see me do? Are there things you like to see added to Sportswire? You can see here I've added a dozen lights. We have, banners, logos. We've added things, to the product. But if there's things that I could do that you'd like me to do or things you'd like to see more of, I'm open to it. I'm here full time. I'm your voice. You've put me as the voice of all wrestling matters, figuratively and literally. So yeah, drop me a line. I'll be happy to see if I could do it and whatever else. And I look forward to more numbers ahead and 1,000 subs and everything in between. But yeah, I see you, No Name Finder. I appreciate you. So I think I'm good. I got to get ready for the next shows tomorrow. My voice is getting a little bit clampy, and it's that time of year. And thank you, everybody, for your support from the bottom of my heart. All you wrestlers, I can't thank you enough for everything you do, putting your blood, sweat, and tears out there, whether you're on a trampoline, whether you're indie, whether you're in the yard, whether you're in the underground, whether you're in wherever else you might be, whether you're obviously doing 2K playing, anything else in between. Thank you for your support. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy what's ahead, because I think the best is yet to come. And I'll see everybody soon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one Global Radio